join us on the big interview segment where we get to look at issues that are of importance really to us in the society. Today is not going to be different. We are delving into the world of real estate. Yes, that sector in recent times has actually shown so much of strength and prospect. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the real estate sector actually contributed no less than 41.3 trillion naira to the economy in 2024. And as at that time, it made it to the country's third largest, sector, in the economy, behind trade, of course, crop production. Now, that tells us that there is so much of prospect in this sector. On the program today, we are going to be looking at the different trends in this sector, the opportunities that are bound in this sector, how you can actually strategically position yourself to also make, one or two things from the real estate sector. I understand that it's not just for the money bags. Anybody can actually delve into it. Well, I'm not sure about that, but the experts that we have in the studio would actually let us know if it's an all-comers sector and what we need to do really to actually key into this emerging prospective sector for the economy. We have in the studio with us two guests. They are real estate experts. I begin from, I have Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, of course, a real estate expert. Thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thank you. Good morning.
And to complete the team is Toluwalashe Ayodun, also a real estate expert. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'm not doing this alone. My colleague is here. And of course, she's ready to fire on all cylinders.
I'm not firing anyone. I'm just here on the program. Good morning and welcome back from leave. Looking so fresh and chubby.
Welcome back for today.
Okay, because we are going to still have many more days. All right, let me just pick it up from there. Talking about emerging communities and investing in real estate. Now, let me just ask you, what is the current state of real estate markets in the emerging communities? Mr. Okonko.
Okay, thank you very much and good morning. Just like the introduction has said, real estate is God's blessing to man. Yes, when God said, go into the world and dominate, it was simply a word to every humanity that go and be part of the real estate market, go and take charge. And it just shows that every individual must be part of the real estate market. And we can see that using Nigeria as an example, right? Real estate has been seen to change the life of a lot of people. A lot of people are now being sensitized about the magic that can happen in the real estate market, about what real estate can do to the life of a man. And then the need for everybody to now own real estate, and not just own real estate, but also utilize real estate as a tool of investment, utilize real estate as a tool of capital appreciation. So you have some funds and all that. So the sensitization is going around, and then you can see what is happening in the emerging community. So we have a lot of individuals who have invested early in this market, and then we have emerging communities. So emerging communities strategically placed for low investors. So individuals who may not have the capital, because a lot of people believe that the real estates are for the high and the mighty, those with the big funds. Now, emerging communities has given the opportunity to even low investors. So you may not have all the money, but you have emerging cities where you can be part of the real estate market in that place. You can enter early into the market with not so much money, and then in a space of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, in a space of years, that's your little investment can now double and then give you capital appreciation. And that is what is happening generally in the Nigerian real estate market, especially as relating to emerging communities.
Okay, Mr. Ayedu, do you also agree with him that the business is for everyone?
I quite agree with him 100%. You see, the concept of real estate is something that everyone should understand. And then when we talk about real estate is anything land, anything on air, anything on the ground. And then more often times, people just think real estate is just about buying land. In fact, real estate is more than buying land and renting out of properties. Let me give a case study. Hospital beds, for example, there are quite a number of people who, for them, what they do is that they buy beds and they give it to hospitals on a lease. So when you go to a hospital and you are paying for bed, what you are doing is that you are also enriching somebody. That's real estate. You don't necessarily have to say you want to buy land. You don't necessarily have to say you want to invest in properties, for example. There are quite a number of aspects to which everybody can invest in real estate. It's just myopic to think that real estate is just buying land alone. It's a wide aspect, and there are several aspects everybody can invest in.
Maybe you should just let us into these several aspects, because for someone like me, I believe you want to go to real estate, you just to be with a land, selling houses, and maybe going into some properties as lending or some other things like that. So I want to know more.
Oh, okay, thank you. Now, just like I just said, a case study is the one I just mentioned. Hospital beds, for example. People invest in hospital beds, and that's in a case where there are you have sick people who get to an hospital and they are telling you there are no beds. There are no beds, and we have people that need to be admitted, and the only reason why they are not admitting them is because there are not enough beds for them to take in. And so what does an investor does? What he does is that he buys beds for the hospital, and then he tells them, per every bed, this is the amount of money I am collecting. Is a rentage. They are renting your bed. That's real estate.
Okay, so anything that falls under the category of renting, letting out, and then you receive a sum at the end of probably the month or at the end of the year, falls under the category of real estate.
Yes. So it's yes, just like that. That's just it. It's not just about land alone. It's not just about I have to build a building and rent out a building. It's a wide aspect, and it's just for people to look at which aspect do I want to go into. So it's not an aspect where it's a wide aspect and it is open for everybody.
Maybe as we progress in the conversation, we will take them one after the other.
Yes.
But let's stick with land, and then let me come to you, Mr. Okoko, right?
Yes, Wisdom.
Wisdom Okoko. Now, for that person that is less than average in the society that wants to invest in land, what would actually be your advice? I mean, because land is something, according to what you have said, has so much of prospect. You buy into it, and then in years, it appreciates, as a matter of fact. So for that individual who is not in the category of the money bags, so what would you advise, such a person to do?
Okay, thank you very much. So, real estate for, let me say low-income earners, right? Those who don't have that money, that large amount of money. You can come into the real estate market by what we call an installmental plan. The Nigerian real estate market has experienced a blessing from what we call real estate companies or registered real estate companies. And registered real estate companies have dominated the Nigerian market so much that they now help get this land, right, from the government or from the omoniles, right, and then present it to the public. And when I mean the public, I'm talking about both the big and the small, everybody, and then give opportunities for people to now pay instrumentally. So you have people paying as low as 10,000 naira monthly to be able to own a land after 1 year. You have people paying as low as 50,000 naira and all that to own a land. But there are some things that a low-income earner, permit me to use that word, must look out for before everybody's saying own land, own land. You're not just going to carry your money and then you just see where they're selling and just go and buy. There are some things that you must look out for. Number one is that you must be able to verify whoever is presenting land to you. Because of how much the goodness the real estate market provides for Nigerians and to individuals, the truth is that we have a lot of scammers. And so it is important that as much as you want to own land, you must not be in a rush. You must take out your time to do your due diligence on the company you are investing with. Because you're going to be in partnership with them. They're going to be in charge of your land for a number of years. So you must be sure that you are paying to the right company. You must also be sure that they are selling a verified land to you. And so you must not just see a land and they advertise to you. No, you must do your check. And that is why programs like this are very important to sensitize the public. You must be able to take whatever land you want to buy and all that, whatever document they're presenting to you, take it to the Bureau of Lands in whatever state you are, be able to check, is this land legit? Is this not a government property? And that's why you see, especially in Lagos State, you see a lot of people crying after they have built their house and all that, and then it looks like the government is victimizing them and their properties are being demolished. Why? Because they did not do their due diligence. So due diligence is very important. Number two is location. Location is also very key. It's not everywhere that you buy that appreciates. It's not everywhere that you buy that, especially when you are putting money into real estate in form of land banking or in form of value appreciation. You must also be sure that the location that you are putting your money in, there is accessibility. It's a place that people can go to. You must also be sure that, okay, the location you are putting your money to, there is security. The location you are putting your money to, the land is legit. So these are things that a first-time buyer must take note of before they put their money into. You must also be sure that you have contract. Very, very important. So if I say that I want to buy land and I'm paying 10,000 naira and all that, and then the only thing they are giving to me is just a receipt, and they collect my money and they just give me a receipt, it's not enough to show. The presence of a legal a lawyer must be part of it. A lawyer must be able to prepare a contract to establish that there's a contract between you and the company you are buying from, so that after 6 months of paying that money, they won't come to you and say that they've not received anything from you. So these are just some things that individuals must look out for, even as they come into the real estate market, especially on an instrumental base or instrumental payment plan. Right.
Okay, talking about that quote that you used, like it's not every land you buy that appreciates. I don't want to believe that, because I want you to expatiate why you will buy a land and it will not appreciate.
Probably in your lifetime you should have had it.
Yes, so if you say, oh, in your lifetime, I agree with that. Thanks for that. If you say your lifetime, yes, it should have appreciated. But the truth is that the reason why people put money into real estate is, number one, for that money to appreciate in value. And appreciate in value is that, okay, if I put 1 million naira, I should be able to make 2 million naira or 10 million after a period of time. That's number one. Number two is that, okay, I should be able to use this place for farming. Right? So for what? For farming, agricultural, yes, agriculture. So some people don't buy land because they want to resell it in future and make money from it. They are buying land because they want to maybe do an agricultural practice or something on the land and all that. But the truth is that location is very important. Because the truth is that if you buy a land in a place that you don't have access to,
what are those things that make one know that or believe that this thing will appreciate?
Yes, so access, like I said it, accessibility.
Okay.
Good road, you mean?
Good road, yes. The road may not be good. Over time,
standard Nigerian road.
But wait, I don't understand what you mean by standard Nigerian road anyway. But when you're talking about emerging communities, it means that those communities are not maybe not really accessible at the time you're buying the land, but maybe later it will open and the rest. So I want to break it down where you can buy lands that will appreciate, the ones that will not appreciate, and even the types of lands you can buy. Let's break it down, because you mentioned something about agriculture. If you are buying for farming, you can do this. If you are buying for business, you can do this. If you want to build on it, so I want you to break it down.
Let me take it from the foundation. Now, before you buy real estate, you must know why you are buying real estate. Okay. So individuals buy real estate majorly for two purposes. Number one, for investment purpose, and number two, for residential purpose.
Okay.
Nigerians generally have the mentality that I must buy land in my village. Nigerian, I must build house in my village.
Okay.
It's a culture that we grew up with.
Can you please hold your thoughts for a while? We are going to go on this break. When we come back, the conversation will continue. Do not go anywhere. The program is still new on right here on OGTV, and yes, the conversation is on real estate investment opportunities in Nigerian, emerging Nigerian cities. We still have in the studio with us Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko and Toluwalashe Ayedu, both of them real estate agents. Before we went on the break, you were actually talking about prospects. I mean, how to spot prospects in land.
So I said that I was speaking earlier. I said individuals buy land for two major purposes, right? I said investment or residential. So investment is you are buying this land or you are buying whatever property so that in a space of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever your time is, your investment time is, that property can appreciate. Now, the second reason why people buy is that they buy because they want to build and stay in it. And I said earlier that Nigerians generally have the mentality that you must buy land in the village. So before you see somebody have really come to the city and buy a property, especially it's permitted to say the Igbos, right? They want to buy a land and build a mansion in their village before they come and buy something in Lagos, because they feel that okay, Lagos is just a place we do business, but village is where we all return back to. But it is an ideology that I feel that should be corrected, especially for young individuals who are investing. You buy real estate first for investment purpose. So before you put your money down to buy any land, you must be able to spot the indices that this property that you are buying has what we call prospect for appreciation. In the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, you should be able to get your money back and then get what we call a return on your investment. So if somebody goes and buys a land in the village, maybe in Esiamu, you understand, far in the village, and then I go and I buy a land in a place like Ibejuleki, or I buy a land in a place like Mowe Ibafo, or in a place like Lagos, or in a place like Ogun State that is an industrial hub, my property is going to appreciate faster than those who bought in their village. And why am I saying so? Individuals who want to invest in real estate, you must be able to look and ask yourself, this money that I am putting down, what is my expectation? In how many years, is this something I'm putting down for my children's children to eat from, or is this something I'm putting down for myself to eat from? That in the next 1 year, next 2 years and all that, I will understand. The truth is that everybody puts money because they want to reap from it. And that is what real estate. Real estate is just like farming. You put money because you want to reap. So you must look at those indices, and that was why I was speaking on the issue of accessibility. You must be sure that there is access, even if the road is not good, but you must be sure that, oh, there is something coming to this place. So those are indices you look at. You must look at schools. Is there a presence of a school in that place? Is there a presence of a hospital in that place? Oh, what kind of school? Primary school or secondary school? So many times sometimes it can just be a government school. Just be a school that is affordable to all. A school that when you have the presence of this school, a lot of people are coming to that place. You know, population, traffic, anything that brings people together.
Tertiary institution, that's the picture you're painting.
Yeah, it's
Polytechnic, College of Education.
Tertiary institution. But you know that when you go to suburb region, the truth is that a community that has a community school, you see other villages come to that place. The appreciation of real estate in that place will be greater than other communities.
So I don't know if that community will grow faster.
We grow faster because when people want to situate their house, they want to come to that place. So they have access to that school. So it may not be a tertiary institution. So you have hospitals, you have maybe like, look at what's happening in Ibejuleki now because of the presence of Dangote refinery. Ibejuleki is exploded. Look at the free trade zone. Look at what's happening. Look at Ekpe. Look at what's happening. Because of the presence of the proposed Lekki International Airport. Look at what is happening in Ekpe and all that. So look at the new airport that was launched also in Ogun State. It's driving a lot of traffic. So you must, especially for first-time buyers or those who are coming into the real estate market for investment purpose, you must spot indicators that gives you assurance that that property will appreciate in few years to come, especially to your own investment plan. And if you say, oh, I'm just buying for my children, I'm just buying for, it's not, I think we should just allow
Mr. Toluwalashe Ayebu to also from there.
I'm just going to probably summarize everything he's saying to just one quote by William Penn.
Okay.
William Penn said, find out where people are going. Buy it before they get there. And that's real estate. Look, for example, Four-Year University. As at 2011, as at 2010-2011, a plot of land around that axis is around 50 to 100,000 naira.
Imagine.
Currently, a plot of land is around 4 million, 6 million in Four-Year. And what has brought appreciation to the land is because of the movement. Because of the movement. And I also want to say that there are certain, he was talking about indices you look out for when you want to invest. And so, number one, you want to look out for infrastructural developments. It's not everybody can afford to buy land in Lekki, in Lagos. For example, in Lagos, everybody can afford to buy land in Obasanjo itself. But then, what do you look out for? I'm a small investor, and I want to buy land, and I want to invest in real estate. What do you look out for? Look out for areas that have prospects, like he was also talking about. And what are you looking at? What are the prospects you are looking at for? Number one is infrastructural development. For example, give a case study of Abeokuta Oba down to Oba Road to Koba. There is a number of road infrastructure going on. That used to be the only road that leads to Lagos before. Currently, there is a road development going in that place. What does the smart investor do? He goes there and begins to invest before they finish the project. A smart investor don't wait for development to finish. He moves immediately. He hears that there's going to be a development.
A smart investor that has money.
Because as at that time, the land is cheap.
But you still need money.
You need money, but the money you will need is not compared to the one you will have. For example, now there's a place around Mapo that is called Agiju. As at 2016, 2017, I know people that bought land in that place for 150,000. This Mapoli here. Currently, a plot of land is around 6 million, 7 million, 10 million. Why? It's because there's a movement going there. Do you understand? So I think that when you look at infrastructure development, you're looking at government intervention to a particular area, just like when government is saying we are taking 4 years to this particular to that place. You don't wait till when the school gets there. What do? You go there, because by the time the school arrives there, people in that community are also rising up.
So in practical terms, I mean, to follow up to what we have been discussing in the last couple of minutes. In practical terms, when you look at Ogun State where we are now, where would you say is that emerging community that people should?
Why do you want to know?
Oh, yes.
You want to go there?
I'm asking for our cherished.
This guy wants to move there.
I'm asking for our cherished.
Okay.
Yes, so we have a number of them. Maybe I'll list some. He will also list some. A very strategic community that individuals must begin to look out for is Kobakwe.
Kobakwe, yes.
Kobakwe. You have the government housing project in that location, right? You also have the Muhammadu Buhari estate coming up there. In short, the governor...
The same route?
Yes, the same route. The governor of Ogun State has promised that he will make the Muhammadu Buhari estate the Ikoyi of Ogun State. And the truth is that if you visit the estate, the structures you see in that place are not the regular structures you see in Abeokuta. You have modern Lagos standard structures coming up in the Muhammadu Buhari estate location. And lands are still very, very affordable in Kobakwe. You go there with less than 3 million naira, with less than 2 million naira, you can buy. And then you have real estate companies selling land. Remember I said earlier, you must verify before you buy. Now you have real estate companies who are giving you opportunity, pay 100,000, pay 200,000, and then you spread your payments for 6 months, spread your payment for 1 year. The truth is that all government workers, because the truth is that you're not going to work with the government for life. You retire at a point. Everybody who knows that at every point you must retire, now that you are maybe in whatever business you are doing and all that, you should begin to look at that environment, an emerging community like that. Begin to pay small and own a land there. Even the government itself are selling projects in that place that you can buy. And that place you should be looking at is Alabata. Alabata, along the way you have the Funab axis. That is another axis because that links, as this links to Lagos, that place links to Ibadan, links to Oyo State. That is another community that first time buyers, people who may not have the money to buy Ibarra housing estate or buy Obasanjo Hilltop should be looking at. These are places that are close, has proximity to where the thing is happening. And then you can buy there, and then your
Wait,
property
Mr.
appreciates.
Okoko, do you have lands in those areas?
So yes.
Maybe that's why you are talking about.
Let's
hear from him because you are mentioning those places because you have lands. I want to hear from you.
Properties to sell.
We have estates we are developing in this location. I'm speaking from knowledge.
You don't have to say it from I want to hear from you.
Okay, now just to add, sincerely, the locations he has mentioned are on point
fantastic
locations where investors should look out to. Also, let me add that they should, just the same route is the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic route down to Oba, Kobakwe axis. That road axis is also a location where people should also begin to look out to. I think I had the information that there's this ministry, this Peace House ministry by Bilia Koni. They are moving their southwest zona, their south headquarters down to the axis, and I'm aware they have about hectares of land, just like moving Shiloh, the redemption camp, down to the axis. So that's a place where people should begin to look out for because
waiting to explode.
So
Exploding already.
So by the time they move there, you're not still able to go and buy land there. It's already too late, even though you might still get, but it's already too late. But currently now, the land is still cheap.
What about the Ajebo Road?
The Ajebo Road is also a very good place.
That's what I want to hear.
The Ajebo Road.
There is a school coming down.
Yeah, I was going to mention Ajebo Road too. Because Ajebo Road is also an axis plus the road axis, the road development that is currently being done. It's also a place because one thing you should look at, once there is accessibility and proximity to light, you should be sure that that area pretty soon is going to explode.
Okay, because of time, let's just move on from that. Let's talk about some challenges in investing in real estate, because the other time you were talking about money, though you said you can start small, you can start, but even the small,
you still need money.
You still need money now. So how do you source for money, especially a startup? It may not be you, because I know you're professionals already. So a startup that wants to come into this kind of business, how do they source for money? How can they just manage to come into the business? Let me hear from you.
Okay. Now, there are two angles to hit. Now, I'm going to angle the two sides. For example, if you are an investor and you are thinking of starting the business of real estate to invest in, and you probably do not have any, I'm going to use myself as a case study, for example.
Okay.
As at the time I started real estate, I started with almost zero naira, zero kobo. And one of the things that I did was that I had to partner with other real estate companies that were already existing and leveraging on them, selling their properties for them, and whatever income I'm able to get, save it up to also start my own. Of course, there is an option of borrowing, going to bank, but if you want to go and borrow in banks, you need to have a collateral. So once you have a collateral, it means you are not starting small. But for somebody that want to start small, we don't have a collateral. You need what we call leverage. And leverage is that you are looking for a company that is already existing, that has name. You can partner with them, and then whatever income you are getting, you can save up and then start your own as little as you can start. The other side is for those who are not necessarily going into the business as a business, but they just want to buy land of their own, and then let me just buy this land and then keep it for myself, but I don't have the money to buy. And no, that's where the option of paying in installments comes in. You can actually pay, there are companies that allow you to pay in installment as low as per month, where there are people that pay per week. There's a company that allow you to pay as low as 3,000, 2,000 naira per week, which is almost equivalent to the data you subscribe every day.
Okay, now let's also look at the challenges really that the sector, those of you that are players in the sector that you are facing really, or you are having. What are some of those challenges really, so that anybody who also wants to go in will have an idea that, oh, these challenges are also there, so I have to grapple with this and this and this.
Okay, some of the challenges we face as investors, or maybe let me say professionals, all right? So the truth is that we have the challenge of majorly a lot of scammers in the industry, let me use that word, because the real estate is a tool that that has changed the life of a lot of people. And then when you have something that is good like that, when there's good, there will always be counterfeit, there will always be bad. So we have a lot of people that already, especially those that have been scammed, they already have the mindset that all of you that are in the real estate market, that's how all of you are.
You're scammers.
Scammers. You understand? So you have people generalizing us with their experience. So because they have dealt with a bad maybe a bad property individual or property marketer or property agent, they feel like everybody are the same thing. Another challenge we also face is the policy of the government. Because of we are in Nigeria, Nigeria is a developing nation, you see that policies change from time to time. Let me give you an example. Look at what is happening on the coastal road, the current coastal road that is being developed. 20 years down the back, 10 years back, nobody knew that a coastal road was coming to that place. So you have a lot of people who have invested in it. Currently they are in court. You have a lot of people who went there and bought properties in that place. And then when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power, he felt that, oh, there should be a coastal road that links Lagos to Calabar. And that coastal road, 700-kilometer stretch, a lot of lands are going to go. A lot of people who have bought
are going to go or have gone already.
No, I know they are still in court. They are still in court because the truth is that when you invest in real estate and you do it correctly, and when I mean you do it correctly, you get your documents. Your documents is very important. The truth is that if government come and they want to use your land for anything, there will be a form of compensation. They can decide to reallocate you somewhere or give you monetary compensation for that property. You understand? So you must look out for that. So we have that policy changing. So you are buying a land and tomorrow comes and then this. Another thing that we find also as a challenge is the scarcity of funds. The truth is that you go outside Nigeria, you see a lot of things that real estate developers are doing, especially with partnership with the government. The support from the government is so much and all that. But in Nigeria, we are still developing. And so there is no so much support from the government. Government coming to tell you that, okay, we'll give you this hectare of land. Come and do whatever you want to do on it and all that. You don't find that so much in Nigeria. We also have the challenge of bureaucracies. So if I want to perfect my title or I want to get my seal of wow, sometimes you have to wait for 6 months. Sometimes you have to wait for 1 year. Sometimes you must be able to wet palms and then give some tips and all that. So you also have that challenge. And I must give kudos to Lagos State government and also to Ogun State government. They and also even Oyo State. I think Oyo State, they are already digitalizing their documentation acquisition. So when you want to get a document, sometimes you don't even have to go to the office. From your online, you go to their website and all that. You can verify a land. You can apply for your document. You can follow up your documents and some of all those things. And we must give kudos to them. So these are just a few of some of the challenges that we face as properties developers.
Taking one of the challenges, and that's the scam, really, that we have in the industry. I mean, because that's like that would be a put-off really for anyone who wants to go into such a business or trade. I don't know if there is a regulatory body. That all of you.
Before you go into that, there is one more challenge that I feel you have not discussed, and is the land grabbers. What are you doing about those people? They call them omonile. They always come. See, you know, and so you did not mention it. This thing is becoming rampant.
Yeah, I just mentioned a few because of what. So
that's important.
Yeah, very important. The omoniles, and the truth is that the Constitution of Nigeria, because we are in a guided nation, we are in democracy, and everything we have Constitution. The Constitution of Nigeria vests all power of lands in the hands of the federal government. And then the state governments are in control of it, or the state governor are in control of it. So, but we have people who have inherited this land by staying on the land, and those are the people that they call omonile. So because their grandfather has been on the land for 20 years, for 50 years, they feel like they are the legitimate owner of the land. So even a government can allocate a property to you, and you go to the land, they tell you that you can't take possession of this land. That the government did not pay us. Which government gave? So you understand? So
when you come across those,
so the truth is that you must be able to settle them. You can't say government give you land.
Will you continue to settle forever?
No, the truth is that you can't say government give you land, right? And then you go to the land. And you meet people who have been on that land for 50 years and all that. And then you send them, you send them away. It's not going to happen like that. The truth is that you bring them to the table and negotiate
in a
with
situation
them.
when you now have two different factions claiming to be, claiming ownership of the land. This group has come, you have settled. This one is coming.
They are intrigues, right? That I may not be able. They are field work. Talk is different from on site. There are a lot of things that we do on site to make sure that you are speaking to the right owners of the land, and that is why nobody come into real estate by rushing. You don't rush to buy land. In short, anybody telling you to come and buy land and asking you to rush, you should spot that there is a question mark.
As a red flag.
You must take out your time to do investigation. Sometimes we take as much as 6 months, 1 year to do investigation on a property before we buy. You must trace the ancestral owners of that property. Who were the people who have been on that property for years and all that, so that you are sure that you are speaking to the right omonile. If you are speaking to the bale, you are speaking to the right bales and all that. And then we also have unions where we have some of all those ballets and all that, when the matter is getting out of hands too, you can also take it to that, but you must understand that, especially when you are buying land in bulk, you must settle your moneyless and then you must settle the government. These are
the community leaders.
The community leaders, yes, those are the moneyless. You must discuss with them, you must negotiate with them. I don't want to mention name. There is a very big name in Nigeria who got an allocation from Lagos state government. And then when they went to site, the Omoniles told them that they cannot take possession of that land until they pay. And they felt because they had the backing of the government, they could take possession of the land. They started working on that land, and I can tell you their staffs were being shot at. They were coming on the site. In short, they had to bring soldiers to come and stay on the land throughout when they were going to work. And so no investor want to really go through that. You don't want to risk your life because of investing in real estate. So if sometimes some of all these money people, you don't need so much money to settle them. They just call them, discuss with them, tell them you have an allocation from the government, if you are getting an allocation from the government, or you have a document from the government and all that, and then pay them off, and then you can have peace and stay on.
So how are you self-regulating yourself to ensure that scammers are actually reduced and, if possible, stamped out?
Okay, we have several regulatory bodies that actually look into the subject matter of real estate. But all of us are under the Estate Surveyor and Valuers SVCON. We are all under it. We have the REDAN, Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria, which also regulates everything that happens in the subject of estate management. We have Estate Agents Association of Nigeria. So we have several bodies that regulate everything that happens in real estate. It's just unfortunate that we have quite a number of people, unprofessionals, that just jump into the business, and then they are the one that actually spoil the business for us. I tell people that real estate is not, the first capital you need in real estate is not actually money. The first capital you need in real estate is integrity. That's what you are selling. It's not even the land. It's not even the properties. What you're actually selling as a realtor, as a company, is actually your integrity. That's what people are buying into. And so if you don't have integrity, no matter how much money you have, people will not invest in your property. And so as much as you already have this, be sure that people want to invest in it. So that's one of the challenge we have. For example, we have cases where somebody will just say that they want to sell land in this place, and because he just heard that they want to sell land, they has also become an estate agent. He also is now into real estate, and then it doesn't know the nitty-gritty. Ask him who owns the land. Doesn't know who owns the land.
Quickly before we go, who are the key players in the local real estate? I mean, who are those that are really matters? Like, if you want to go into real estate markets, like, are they developers, the agents, the lawyers? Who are the key players? Just in 1 minute.
Okay, so we have the real estate developers, those who are either building or providing basic amenities in a particular estate. You have lawyers. Like I said, real estate has to do with documentation. Anybody who sells land to you and there's no document to back it up, just understand that you are buying air. You are buying scam. So there must be the presence of a legal individual. You must also have the presence of a surveyor. Whatever land you are buying must have been surveyed, must have been charted. You must be sure that you are not buying a government property, or you are not buying a property that has been allocated for hospital or allocated for road, and then you go and buy it and you build a mansion there.
Or allocated for prison.
You go and buy a prison. You understand? So you must have the presence of a surveyor, right, in whatever property. You must also have agents. Agents are those who also go to search for these properties, get these properties for you, and all that, just to mention a few.
Okay, Mr. Soluwalashe, what are the documents you must obtain?
Oh, wow, thank you for that. The first document you must actually have is what we call deed of agreement or deed of assignment.
Okay.
And that's what transfers ownership from the seller to the buyer.
Yeah.
That's the first document we must have. The receipt of purchase is also very important, and that shows that I have collected money from you. And so those two documents are the first, because those two documents are what every other document you'll be doing are going to be based upon. Whether you want to do C of O, they will ask you for the deed of assignment. If you want to do governor's consent, it's also going to be based on all of these. But the first two is the purchase receipts, your deed of assignment, and then you also need to have your registered survey. Your registered survey is what makes you to know the actual size of the land that is being allocated to you. Somebody can just say that I've just bought a plot of land. Currently, a plot of land in Nigeria is in different sizes. Some people sell plot of land for 600 square meters, some is for 500, some is for 450. But the survey makes you to know the exact plot of land size.
Okay, we have to go. We have to go.
We must thank you, gentlemen, for your time with us this morning. I mean, you've really exposed us on so many things as far as real estate is concerned. I'm sure that our viewer really has learned so much on this. We've been speaking with Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, real estate expert, and of course Toluwalashe Ayedo, also a real estate expert. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've got to go.
Yeah.
The compliments of the season.
Same to you. Okay, until Wednesday when our colleagues will be back here doing Stella Ogumbadewa, it's my name, and I say that make sure you check that land well before putting your money into it. Until Wednesday, be good.